champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Man, if he was seriously injured or whatever has he done, but, you know, get carried out the ring, brother. Get carried out the ring. You know, it's not all give knocking people unconscious and then your eye goes and then you want to get out. You know, I've got all the time in the world for Triple D, and he can come again, but it's going to take a long road back from that.
Hello and hello. Welcome back to the Undisputed Champ YouTube boxing channel. If you like the videos I've already put out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the videos. Let's grow the channel and let's get into the video of today. Today we're talking about Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders post-fight. First, I'm going to start with saying Canelo is just too smooth. The smoothest. The absolute smoothest. And I'm going to give props to DAZN as well. This is the first DAZN card where I felt this feels like a HBO top standard pay-per-view card. The glitz, the glamour, what came across on the TV was clean. It just had everything. Canelo put on a show with the Mexican band and the crowd. The stadium looked lit. Boxing's back, guys. Big time boxing in the US anyway. It's back because that crowd looked energetic. It just looked live. It looked live-o. Like, I was thinking, wow, this is a production. The people behind Canelo, Matchroom, everyone involved in that production, DAZN, excellent job, because that looked top tier. Top tier. Going on to the fight itself, British fighters need to leave Canelo the hell alone, man. Need to leave him alone, man. He's just running through British fight. You know what? When he sets up a fight, he must think, oh, who's the next British fighter that people are talking about? Yeah, that'll be my next easy win. I'll just dust him off and then move on. British fighters, leave him alone. Leave him the hell alone. And you know what? I'll give Billy Joe some props because I had him winning some rounds. Like, he was a little bit tricky in there. He didn't want to stand and trade with Canelo. Probably why he wanted the larger size ring so he could mill around. He didn't want to stand and trade, but he managed to outpoint Canelo a couple times, flick his jab out there. He landed a little bit of like a check hook inside on Canelo, and he was touching Canelo a little bit, but just wasn't enough. And I'm going to hold Billy Joe by the same standards that he held Daniel Dubois to, and the same standards I held Daniel Dubois to. And that is, we're going to say Daniel Dubois quit and he tucked it in, Billy Joe quit. And I'm not going to hide, I'm not going to shy away from it, Billy Joe quit. Canelo landed a lovely uppercut onto his face that obviously busted up his eye straight away, or busted up around that area of his eye. You could see a lump form straight away. Canelo's gone to the corner. Billy Joe's gone to the corner. Billy Joe didn't want to come out anymore. And to me, that's a quit. As you've seen from the initial video on this video, the initial clip I put, Billy Joe was holding Dubois to some pretty steep standards. And you have to then hold yourself to those standards. You have to hold yourself to those standards, Billy Joe. And to me, you quit. I didn't expect it. To be honest, I didn't expect it. But you can never tell when boxers do get into these deep waters and they do get hurt. They change up. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till they get hit in the face. And Billy Joe got smashed in the face and his plan changed. And he said, I'm not coming out. Even if his corner stopped, he didn't protest. He sort of accepted his fate. He felt that he was getting busted up in there. He was getting busted up in there and he didn't want to come out. It's a shame. It's a real shame. I tweeted straight away that it's a shame that he tucked it in, but that's boxing. Boxing is probably the harshest sport in the world. It's probably the only sport in the world where you're getting hurt, you're getting beaten up, you're getting damaged, and there's no room for quitting. There isn't any room for quitting, and it's a savage sport. It's a savage sport, and that's why only the top champions get the real acclaim in boxing. You can pick up a belt in boxing. You can pick up 2 belts, even 3, but you're not a top champion unless you show us that heart. Unless you walk through that adversity and you come out on the other side, win or lose, but you say, I didn't quit. I didn't tuck it in. There's boxers that have lost their lives, and I'm not even saying boxers should lose their lives in the boxing ring. I'm not saying that they should, but there are boxers that have lost their lives on the fact that they didn't quit. And the only reason I'm lamenting Billy Joe and I'm going in a bit more on Billy Joe is because the clip at the start of the video, he held Daniel Dubois to a certain standard, and so therefore we got to hold Billy Joe to that same standard, and that's what I'm doing. I actually had it scored 78-75 going into the 9th round, and it was kind of a close fight, but Canelo definitely looked like he was turning the heat up. And once he hurt Billy Joe, he was going in for the kill, stinging right hands. He was trying to land the uppercut all night. And Canelo, another shot that Canelo threw, he threw the left hook to the body, but it was disguised so well. Even me just watching it from the TV, I was like, oh, that left hook's going to the head. And it would just glide around Billy Joe's shoulder into the body. Billy Joe tried to start blocking it as the fight went on, but as soon as Billy Joe got lax or tired or wasn't concentrating, Canelo would sneak that body shot back in, and I'm like, oh, this guy, man. This guy, master boxer. Canelo's bombs to the head, to the body, just too much for Billy Joe. Billy Joe, he did a little bit better than other British fighters, but when you tuck it in, it just, it dispels everything he did before. It sort of negates everything. Like Callum, I'm not going to give Callum props either, because I don't think Callum tried, and he quit in the ring without quitting, in my opinion, because he was like, I'm just going to disengage from the fight, but at least I'll make the 12. Billy Joe tried to engage a bit, but then got hurt, and then he decided enough was enough. But again, great production. Actually, another negative about this fight, Chris Mannix, who was a commentator on DAZN, and he does their unofficial scorecards. His scorecard is horrible, man. Get DAZN, get Chris Mannix out of here. I could do a better job than Chris Mannix. Scorecard horrible. He had Billy Joe up. Like, what fight were you watching, man? What, like, oh man, horrible. And then I remember he made a comment saying, oh, why do fighters always make a face or a gesture after they get hurt? It's not falling down. I'm like, are you an idiot? Like, obviously they're trying to pump themselves up and convince themselves that the punch didn't hurt, and by doing that, hopefully that transfers onto your opponent. Like, Chris, you get this guy out of him, DAZN, man. Get this guy out of him. He's not it. Sergio Mora was doing a decent job, and other people on the panel like Roy Jones Jr. was talking good sense. Katie Abdo was talking good sense, but get Chris Mannix out of here, please. Like, we want to see DAZN going on an upward trend, and he's not the guy to help DAZN do that. But back to Canelo, master of calculated aggression. He's a top 3 fighter currently. He's active. He's on his way to undisputed. Caleb Plant, you're the only one in the 168 division with a belt other than Canelo. You got the IBF belt. Canelo's got all the others. Don't duck Canelo. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no back and forth. He's going to send you an offer. You send a counter offer and you agree to fight. And that's it. Don't fumble this bag, Caleb. Because there's going to be no sympathy for you when you say, oh, Canelo lowballed me, blah, blah. He's got 3 belts. He's the biggest star in boxing right now. So, Caleb, don't fumble this bag. Don't fumble the bag. I want to see the fight made. But, yeah, great fight. Caleb Plant, Canelo, let's go, baby. Let's go.